This is not a test. This channel has interrupted its regular programming to provide disaster information not being readily reported. Important details will follow this tone.
A Roswell, New Mexico resident is now being treated after a rabid coyote attacked him last week in a neighborhood. According to the Roswell Police Department, the man contacted Fulton County Animal Control on Monday, February the 27th and recounted the ordeal to officials. The resident was running in the area of Plantation and Lake Charles Drives and was approached by the coyote from behind. The animal bit the runner on his lower leg and in turn, the man said he grabbed the coyote and held him down as neighbors called 911. Roswell police responded to the scene, fatally shot the coyote and called in Fulton County Animal Control officers to remove the carcass. The animal was sent to a lab for testing where it tested positive for rabies. The victim is currently receiving treatment for exposure to rabies as a result. As many as 40 acres were consumed by fire in Morgan County, Utah. The blaze likely was the result of a trash burn on Sunday that was not entirely put out. When the high winds picked up, a spark more than likely ignited the dry grass in that area. No firefighters or animals were hurt by this fire. A powerful snowstorm moving through Manitoba, Canada Monday has closed multiple highways and knocked out power in some areas. Drivers reported that it was like driving on sheer glass today. Manitoba Infrastructure announced highways in southwest Manitoba near the Saskatchewan border were closed due to poor driving conditions. The storm was causing problems with power lines and also making it difficult for crews to get out to fix them. Environment Canada has issued a blizzard warning for most of western and northern Manitoba. Varying snowfall amounts are expected, ranging from around 4 inches to 11 inches in the Parklands area, to as much as 24 inches in the north. The wind will pick up with gusts as high as 55 miles per hour expected in some places. Emergency responders have been called to the Department of Commerce in Washington, D.C. after 3 employees got sick. 3 people working inside the building said they suddenly felt ill on Monday. When responders arrived, they called for hazmat equipment. Interestingly enough, once employees went to a different area and got some fresh air, they felt better. They are being monitored at the scene. Thousands of residents in West Sumatra have been isolated by floodwaters and landslides that hit the region on Friday of last week. Connecting roads had been completely cut off. Thousands of residents are still isolated because of rough terrain. Data from the National Disaster Mitigation Agency show that the disasters have isolated over 2,272 residents in Nagari-Galagua, some 3,251 residents of Nagari-Koto-Lamo and 350 residents of Nagari-Mek. The National Search and Rescue Agency have deployed their AWACS helicopters to comb flooding and landslide locations. Meanwhile, search and rescue teams will open access roads to isolated areas by cleaning landslide material. Reports earlier said that 6 persons were killed by the floods and landslides in the region. More than a dozen passengers were reportedly injured on Tuesday morning when a blast took place in the general coach of a passenger train in India. Following the blast, the train came to a halt. The glass panes of the windows in the coach were damaged because of the blast, which occurred when the train was about to reach Jabdi station. Earlier, it was suspected to be short-circuit, but the railway police claimed that it received leads of a suitcase bomb which triggered the blast. Unconfirmed reports also claimed that a mobile phone had exploded in the train. The passengers have told rescuers that it was a suitcase which exploded in smoke and fire followed, triggering the panic. The injured were rushed to hospital through 108 ambulances. Locals, who heard the blast and spotted the fire in the last section of the train, also informed police about the mishap. However, no casualties were reported initially. According to sources of the Hungarian national television, a patient is treated with measles in the Mako hospital. This information was confirmed by the National Public Health and Medical Officer Service without going into details. A press conference held later by the local government stated that 11 workers from the hospital also experienced symptoms of measles. In 5 of the cases, the infection was confirmed by laboratory tests. The hospital has announced a quarantine on sections of the hospital dealing with inpatients and in emergency rooms. Finally, the city of Cape Town, Africa says it is taking proactive steps by declaring a disaster area, with only 113 days of usable water left before taps run dry. Last week, water and sanitation officials indicated that they had more than 3 months of water left and the department would not declare it a disaster area. But on Monday, the city announced that the acting mayor declared a local disaster through an executive order under Section 55 of the Disaster Management Act. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this to be interesting, please like, share, and subscribe. While at it, post your thoughts on this and whatever else is on your mind below. If you like the social media thing, you can link to us via the standard allotted social sites in the description. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe.
This concludes this report of the emergency alert system. All normal programming operations may now resume.